Welcome back, and thank you so much. If you're just joining, this is Daybreak Extra coming to you from Trust TV here in Abuja. Now it's time for the phone conversation, and today we want to look at cost of medication and what alternatives are you using. We know that there's a lot happening, so a lot of people may fall back to one or two things that they believe in. But then we just want to know what alternatives you're using out there. In Nigeria, the rising cost of medication has led many people to seek more affordable alternatives to manage their health, especially with the economic hardship that we are facing. With limited access to expensive pharmaceuticals, alternatives such as generic drug, traditional herbal medicine, and preventive healthcare practices have gained popularity. Like I said, a lot of people fall back to what they believe in. So it could be herbal, it could be, maybe going for something that can actually work for them. The economic hardship is actually, taking a toll on everyone. You go to the hospital, you see a lot of people that are yet to, pay their bills. They cannot even afford to buy drugs after being treated by the doctors and what have you. So generic medications, which are cheaper versions of branded name drugs, are widely used due to their affordability and availability. So it depends on what is available and what is, what people can actually afford to buy. Even though traditional herbal remedies deeply rooted in Nigerian culture are also commonly relied on, for treatment of various ailments. People, have this belief that, okay, yes, traditional medicines work, and it has actually worked for people based on belief, and then some people actually believe in taking the pharmaceutical medicines, drugs, because what quantity you need to take. But for the herbal, you're just risking it at the end of the day. So, but, we like to know what other alternatives people are using out there aside from what we have mentioned so far. So the rules of engagement, as usual, is when you're calling to stay away from your TV set, and if you can't reach us via the numbers showing on your screen, do well to send us a WhatsApp message on the first number that is displayed on the screen right now. So this is what we are going to talk about today. What other alternatives are you using because of the economic hardship? And like I said, a lot of people can't, afford to pay their bills when it comes to health right now. And I know that the government needs to do something. I remember having a conversation with, someone recently, and they said when a bill is above 2,000-3,000 when it comes to medication, they feel the government should take responsibility for that. But then what's your take, on this? That's what we want to know. Do you think what the other people are saying, or what this expert said about they feel the government should take responsibility for some of the medication bills is valid? So we have a first caller. Hello, good morning. Okay, we have lost the call. Do well to call us back again, and don't forget to stay away from your TV set when you want to talk, so that we don't have a delay and you can actually fall back to this much later after the program to hear yourself if you call. And then, like I said, do well to send us WhatsApp message in case you're not able to reach us on the numbers showing on your screen. Yeah, so I think the government should do something, when it comes to the health sector. We've seen doctors who have traveled out of the country coming back, trying to see what they can do to support Nigerians in the time of need, especially with health, regards to health, probably with free consultations, free treatment for some of the, ailments that people are going through or, facing, just so that they can take some parts of, the hardship from people, because they know what it means, and people need doctors, to check their health, to know what is happening to them. Okay, so we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Fatima.
Good morning, Fatima. How are you this morning?
Alhamdulillah, we thank God.
Thank you so much for calling. What do you think about, the alternatives that people are using when it comes to cost of medication right now? What's your take?
Cost of medication now, Fatima, the reality remains as we have no any alternative rather than to resort to the these traditional medicines. That's the only thing. And the second thing is I will advise Nigerians. There is one saying that says, "Pay the cook, but don't pay the doctor." Try and eat a very good balanced diet. Even though the economic is not friendly, but you should try as much as possible to eat much vegetable foods so that we can stay healthy. But now, if you fall ill, you will surprise how much they will collect from you. Even now, the treatment of a common malaria fever, you will surprise how much will cost you. So it is a reality. The issue is running out of hand, and there is nothing we can do because the government they are not ready to assist the teeming masses of Nigeria. So some things they are creating things to become difficult deliberately. And I sometimes I was surprising. I used to ask myself, is really we have a government on ground? If government, Fatima, cannot provide health for you as a citizen, government cannot provide education for you as a citizen, government cannot look after your security, then what is government? So we should exercise situation. And I was always telling Nigerians that the only answer for this problem is we should desist from the money politics. Money politics is the backbone of all these problems that we are facing. So we should try as much as possible to look at the credible people, a party with a manifesto. You can surprise now, all the parties that they are coming, they have no manifesto to show you this is what we will do for you, this is what we will do. Even if they do, even if they say it, they are just selling it for the purpose of looking your mandate, but it is not reality up to their mind.
Yeah,
that's my text.
Thank you so much, Shatima, for that. I mean, you've actually said the most that probably should be going through a lot of Nigerians' minds right now. Yes, the government is responsible for providing, affordable and a better health facilities and secure health when it comes to its citizens. So it's a cause to worry when the government is not actually taking this serious. Not just this, there are a lot of issues that the government needs to take seriously, and health is actually very important. I mean, imagine if people are not okay all the time and they have to work to generate revenue for the country. People have to work for the country to be able to run. Without people and their health, you virtually will not have anything to look up to at this point. So health is very important, and then we need to see the hospitals also be receptive when people come, especially patients who are sick and probably they don't have money to go for some of the treatments that the doctors are telling them to do, and hence you see some people will just take their patients and just go home and then do what they think they can do to just see that their loved ones get better. So the hospitals, especially when people bring sick people, really sick people, you see if it's a case of that needs to be money to be deposited before they attend to, they leave the person there. And we have seen cases where some people have actually reported on how their loved ones passed on because they were not given the attention that they needed, or given the right medication and what have you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Happy weekend. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Your name and location, please.
I've been calling from England.
Okay, thank you so much for calling. Go ahead. What's your take?
I found one thing missing in what you said and the other caller. You are saying government. You should have elaborated which government. So let Nigeria know which government. So is it the local government or the state government or the federal government? So, I mean, so that people can understand, listening to you from other parts of the country. So the issue of health center is the priority of the local government, while these are the state government. So those are the people. Here where I'm here in UK, is the local government that will provide you the clinic everywhere you are. In my street here, I have about 3 or 4 health center where you have the patient in my own clinic with about 50,000, but they don't come at once. You come and we have so many doctors, so many things. There is like a mini hospital, but they don't admit people there. It's provided by local government. So in Nigeria, it is your local government funded by state government. Both of them to provide health center. So mentioning government. So you have to mention which government. So we will not mislead people listening. They will be thinking it's Bola Tinubu again. So it's your health center, it's your local government that will provide it. Then about the prescription tablet. That's part of their job. Fund the place so that the common people, the poor people in England, if you're under 16, it's free prescription. If you are a student, it's free prescription. If you are unemployed, it's free prescription. If you are 60 years above, it's free. So whatever medicine, whatever tablet what they give you, you get to the pharmacy, it's free. So but working people will pay. And it's a fixed price. £9 something, £10 flat rate. So government, local government, they come here for treatment. They know if the state governor come here, the local government can come here. They know what is going on. They should provide for their own people at the local level. That's their job to make sure medicine is available in their health center. It's not the federal government job to do that. So that's what I want to correct. When you say government, elaborate government. God bless you and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ade, for your input. You always call at the right time to say what is needed. I mean, yes, we need to know which government, if we are going to hold accountable, we need to know, because we have the states, we have the local that are responsible for certain tax that is being given to them to carry out on. So definitely we should be holding the right people accountable when it comes to stuff like this. Talking about comparing what you see outside the country and Nigeria, I mean, like I said, every country is facing economic downturn at this point, but when it comes to health, it's very important. They said health is wealth, so we need people to be okay. And if you're using other alternatives to make sure that you're fine, you need to know what you're taking. You need to know if these remedies are working for you or not. And because some may actually deteriorate your health because you don't know what you're treating. You need the doctors to diagnose you of whatever it is that you're going through, even though we know the cost of medication is very, very expensive at this point. I mean, just to consult a doctor is also expensive, for you to be able to know what drugs or what tests and the right treatment for them to administer to you. So, but call us, and if you can't reach us, send us WhatsApp message, so that we can read your messages in case you're not able to reach out. I mean, we've seen a lot of people calling to say that they are not able to reach us, but I'm sure you can now with WhatsApp messages as well. It's even easy to get to us. But call us and tell us what other remedies that you're using and how they have also worked for you. It is something that Nigerians need to know about, even though there are some quantities of the herbal medicines that people are saying for Nigerians not to go for. It depends on where you're coming from. I mean, a lot of people believe in all this herbal. When it comes to herbal, everything has to be natural, organic and stuff. So, and it's from the herbal that the pharmaceutical medications are actually being produced and processed. So what do you think we can do to ease this problem that we are facing right now, especially with regards to the health part of this? So if I'm to say there are some certain herbal medicines that we see on the streets that we see people actually taking them, and you see them in different colors. You'll be wondering what these are, and you see people actually gathering to take, and you'll be wondering what it does to them as well. Does it work? Have they gotten ease of whatever it is that they are going through that is making them to take the herbal or whatever it is? So yeah, do call us, send us WhatsApp messages. This is a conversation that we all need to know what Nigerians are facing or feeling about it. And is there a problem when it comes to accessing the right drugs that you actually even need? When you compare to when you buy them in the hospitals and when you go outside to pharmacies to get them, what are the price rates? How expensive are they? And then what other things are you looking into to see that you are actually okay? So we have another caller. Hello, good morning. All right, I'm sure we are having some network issues, which we know that it's something that is been happening, but call us on the other numbers. If you can't reach us, or send us WhatsApp message like we keep saying. And I'm happy that the people are calling actually taking to the rules, they staying away and what have you. So yeah, like I said, what's are the cost expense prices when you go to buy drugs now? I mean, a couple of months ago it was a bit easy because you see people maybe purchasing drugs for little amount like 1,000, 2,000. There are some drugs now that is even high as 18, 25,000, which we used to take maybe when it was 3,000 and plus. Hello, good morning. Okay, so I don't know what's happening with the network, but a lot of people try to call, but then the network is not letting them speak. I mean, I've seen someone that was angry just a couple of days that we don't pick their calls. We are sorry if you're not able to reach us, but keep trying. If you can't get us, just save the number in your phone and send us a WhatsApp message. We are always here to read your messages as far as they are not insultive and they're not, implicative. So yeah, definitely we will take your messages. So the generic medications are cheaper according to people, because for those that have used them, they feel when they go to the hospital, they just want to consult with a doctor to diagnose them of what is wrong, and then they just know what they are being diagnosed of. They go outside to just find means to treat themselves, and people believe that okay, it's herbal. I could just go into the bush and just get some trees, leaves, and what have you, and just come mix whatever concoction to for me to take and my family. I mean, I've seen people who literally live by herbal medicine, but are there side effects to it? Definitely we should find a medical doctor one day, maybe soon, to talk about the intake of herbal and the quantity that people need to take, if it is good, and if it is not, what is not good, what is not what is preferable. If it is the pharmaceutical, we also know we can compare it if it is something that they will be able to answer for us, because I know a lot of people will have misconceptions about when it comes to herbal. The quantity, for some actually can tell you when you go to buy that this is the quantity you need to take every day or every it's probably kind of prescribed just like drugs. They'll tell you to take 2-3 times a day. So they'll tell you take this in the morning, take this in the night. But what is the side effect of it for those that are taking it? And then if it is the pharmaceutical drugs that people are taking, which we already know that it has actually worked a lot of times, and when people are diagnosed wrongly and then they keep taking the drugs, also it has a way of deteriorating the health, and then you can't mix the pharmaceutical drugs and herbal medicine, because I've seen people that will take maybe Panadol, and then they'll still proceed to go and take the herbal medicines, remedies, that the concoctions out there. So for the sake of your health, you have to know what you're taking. So we are not saying what you're taking is not good, but we just want to know how accurate and how good it is for you and your health as you consume them. So the managing health is actually very, 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 very expensive, because you want to know what you're going through, how much you need to budget. I mean, whenever you're earning salary, you already know what you're keeping for your health, just in case or someone in your family may need help here and there. So yeah. And for the traditional herbal remedies, like we already know that is something that Nigerians believe in, is deeply rooted, is part of like our culture or tradition. For some people, they take that every morning, and like now you can see the picture. They are being actually converted into pills, like tablets, sort of, for people to be able to take them, just like you can buy the pharmaceutical drugs. And it's a lot of the herbal medicines also have NAFDAC numbers. So I feel people that believe in herbal should go for the ones that NAFDAC has approved, because they have gone through it, they have checked it to see that okay, yes, people can actually consume this. It has no health or side effects, to the people consuming these concoctions. So call us if you can't reach us, send us WhatsApp messages We're here to serve you and listen to you, to vent your anger out there on what you think is right for you. So if I'm to be asked, like, between the traditional and pharmaceutical, I think I would root for the pharmaceutical more. Like I said, it's from the generic concoctions that these pharmaceutical drugs are being processed. You can't just go ahead and just make a drug without having the knowledge of it and mixture. Even though for some of us, a lot of people have actually learnt it. It's like a hereditary passing from this generation to that generation. We see people doing, having like a local medical center for the people that believe in herbal or traditional concoctions or drugs. So is it just me, or I feel like a lot of people may not even want to take the herbal because you're not there when it was prepared? So you don't know if they'll just tell you, oh, this is good for you, you can take it, you'll not feel this way, you'll be strong, throughout the day, you will not have this, you will not feel this, it will take all your headache and what have you. But when it comes to the normal ones that we know when you take, you have headache, you know what to take, when you're having stomach pain, you know what to take, when you're having body pain, you know what to take. But for this, they just tell you, take this, it will just wash away everything. So what alternatives do you use between these two, and how effective are they for you, is what we want to hear from you. And it's actually a problem, it's something that Nigerians should be willing to talk about. I know the economy is hard, so hence we have this particular conversation for you, just so you can call and share your thoughts and tell us the cost of medication in your area, how much you are buying, and if you can't afford it, what are you using to keep yourself going. So yes, I am still yet to see any WhatsApp message. And then I just wish women will also call, because we have seen when new babies or children are born and bathed, and what they use some the traditional ways of taking care of these children and what have you. So it has something to do with this, because we're talking about health in general and this cost of medication that we're talking about. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and location?
My name is Abraham Adole, and I'm calling from Makurdi, Benue State.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abraham, for joining us. Go ahead. What's your take? How expensive are medications in your area, and what other alternatives are you using?
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate what you people are doing.
Thank you.
And cost of medication in my area is high. And for that reason, most of us go for traditional herbal medicine. Why? Because it helps and it works. Especially for me, it works. Recently, I was having catarrh. I went to the medical store to get some medicine. And on reaching there, the person giving me the medicine asked me to treat both fever and typhoid. And it cost me 3,000. On buying it, I started taking it, and the condition doesn't change. It got worse. And then, noticing that, I stopped taking it. And I went for traditional herbal medicine. And just with little talking, I am okay. I'm strong. So, seeing that things are so expensive with the orthodox medicine, once you get the herbal medicine and you know it and you get it right, the leaves, the roots that you mix, they are okay. If you can get it right and you get the correct ones to treat whatever illness you are having, you are okay. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Abraham, for that. So this is him saying in Makodi, in his area, the cost of medications are very expensive, and when Ade called, we kept saying, the government needs to do something. We always call on the government because we feel the government has to, provide the necessary means for people to be able to afford these drugs affordably. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Fatima. Fatima, could you call again?
Okay, thank you so much, Fatima.
Thank you, Fatima. What I'm trying to say, if people they think herbal medicine or traditional medicine, the concoction they have here on it, my advice is let them take much water. Take healthy food, eat healthy food, eat much vegetables, take water, engage in regular exercise. By God's willing, you will be healthy. Because this cost of medication is very, very high. A poor man is struggling for what he will eat, and the medication is very cost. It will not be afford the cost. It's very, very high, honestly speaking. So Nigerians, they should engage in regular exercise, eat healthy food. As I said before, pay the cook, don't pay the doctor. Thank you very much.
Well, Fatima called again, to say that for those that, are taking the herbal medicines or the herbal concoction, should, drink a lot of water. Probably this is coming from his experience, when it comes to the concoction with the herbal medicine. And like he said, he made a very vital point. Eat the right diet. I mean, if you eat the right diet, I'm sure your health will be sort of taken care of, because you're eating the right things and they work for you. Your system will be able to digest, extract what needs to be extracted, and what have you. So a lot of people don't even go to the hospitals because they eat the right food. They drink a lot of water. Water is actually very good. So I think a while back there are some reports that were carried out on this herbal medicine and what it does. I've seen a couple of pages where people have actually talked about some herbal medicines and how bad it was for some people that took it, and the side effects, aftermath of the herbal concoction that they took. It's something that needs to be checked into. People would take this concoction and probably it doesn't work. Like I said, it will make your health deteriorate because you don't even know what you're treating, and you're just taking whatever you're given, just because you believe that the herbal medicines are working. Even though we know the pharmaceutical drugs come from the same herbs, but there should be a regulation. There should be the number of quantity that you can take every single day. So eat the right diet, exercise a lot, like you said. I'm sure you would not need to visit the doctor or to even have any reason to go through the cost of medication and what have you. Even though we know as human you can't take away people falling sick here and there. Even with certain vaccines that you need to take, sometimes when you take the certain vaccines that has to do with whatever it is, the ailment that you're treating, it has a way of treating other diseases or something that you're carrying without you even knowing, because I think they come with certain things in it. With regards to what a lot of doctors keep saying to us every day, when we see people coming to administer vaccines and they run away from it, it's actually for your own good, for the sake of your health, just to avoid you falling sick often and then having to visit the hospital, and then go through the expenses of treating yourself and what have you. So do call us, send us WhatsApp messages if you can't reach us. As usual, like I said, we'll be able to read them and then air out your views. If we are seeing some messages coming in already, even though I know there is network issue. We keep having calls and then it keeps disconnecting, but do call us again. Try call us. There are 2 numbers there. I'm sure you can get through with one. And so yeah, aside from Fatima, are they also saying we should specify who we need to hold accountable. To some extent, we need to hold the government, because the federal government is the body that passes, the policies that the other states need to carry, even though every state stands on its own and they have things that they do. We always need, whether the federal government, whether states, whether local, it doesn't matter, they're all part of the government. So we need to hold the people accountable, because the money comes from somewhere for health facilities to be, put together for Nigerians to be able to, take care of their health. So yeah, we have a WhatsApp message. I don't know if we can be able to take, maybe some of it, but do call us if you can reach us. I mean, it's a cause to worry. Food is expensive. Education is something that we don't even want to look into, because we can't even exhaust it if we're going to talk about it. These are basic necessities and things that people need to survive. Education, health, and food. It's definitely important. Imagine someone walking on the street. I mean, we read in front of one of the papers saying that most Nigerians are working cops. There's hunger, definitely, and then cost of medication is very high. People cannot afford it, and then you want people to be okay. It's not possible, right? It's not really possible. We need to eat. It's when you eat, you take the right drugs, and then it works for you. When you're sick, you don't eat. There's no food for you to even eat. You can't even afford to buy a 1 square meal. How then can you afford to buy drugs? There are people that are earning the minimal salaries. You'll be surprised to know that there are still Nigerians that are earning very little, that they can't be able to, even purchase the necessary things, the basic amenities that they need in their houses. Talk more of going to the hospital and, catering for their health. It's actually alarming, the rate at which people nowadays, you see the number of people carrying stuffs on their head, selling the herbal drugs and then when you go to the pharmacies, they are very expensive, and you'll be left wondering, where should you go, where do you start from? So it's really a cause to worry. Well, we have a message from someone that's always sending messages. Then when it comes up, we'll definitely read. Are there other alternatives aside from the herbal and the pharmaceutical that people are using that we don't know of? We know that, like I already mentioned earlier, we have the generic, and then we have the pharmaceutical. These are the two that we know, but there are other concoctions that you see people taking and mixing. I mean, I've seen people saying, oh, just get this, mix this, keep it for some days. It will just give you the right the dose that you want, then you can start taking just for you to be okay. Does it really work? Some work, some don't. And I've seen people that were diagnosed wrongly, and then they went ahead to start taking the ones the doctors prescribed, and then mixing with herbal, and then you just see them losing weight. You see them changing. You don't know what is wrong, and you'll be thinking but meanwhile you can't mix the two, because there are people that still do that. They'll take the pharmaceutical, and then they'll say after 2-3 hours they'll take the herbal, which I don't know if it really works. So it's actually a whole lot. People need to know what they're actually taking day by day. So this is coming from Rabiu Abdul Ankanjiba from Katsina. He said the prices of medications, the lab tests and medical services have skyrocketed, pushing basic care out of reach. This is just what we've been saying. It's actually a big problem. It's a bigger problem than we can even imagine. Vulnerable populations like pregnant women, children, and those with chronic illnesses are the hardest hit. Like, they are the most vulnerable at this point, and they are the ones that are hit the most. That's what he's saying, with many Nigerians turning to traditional healers or self-medication due to high cost. Self-medication has a very big problem, which I think is a topic that we need to discuss, because how do you even know what you're treating? How do you know what the medications you need to go and purchase in the pharmacies for you to be able to even take them in the first place? So yeah, it's really people turning to traditional healers. If you go to a traditional healer and he knows what he's doing, this is because we have seen, like I said, we've seen older people that they inherited this from generation to generation, and they take care of people. So it's different, when you when you see a traditional healer doing something, just to make sure that he heals people because he knows what he's doing. He still proceeded to say stories of patients being turned away from hospitals or abandoning treatment due to financial strains are becoming commonplace. Experts are calling for urgent government interventions to address the crisis, including local drug production and price control. I mean, I stated it earlier that there should be a control of, the cost of medication, just like we are rooting for the, control when it comes to products, food, and what have you out there, that people will be able to purchase. So it's actually a problem. That's when we keep saying we are holding the government accountable, we are saying that they are the ones that we are looking up to make this work for us, for people to be able to, access the right drugs, the right food at their own, compatibility, like when something that they can afford, without being inconveniencing them, for some reason. I mean, the government should have a price control when it comes to all this, so that people will be able to live and be happy. At least a part of the struggle that Nigerians are going through should be taken care of. If the government will provide good health, good education, and good food, and then good salary, I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will not be complaining. A lot of things will be taken care of. It's something that we all need, all these things that I just mentioned, to survive, whether we like it or not. We need to go for checkups time to time. We need money to do that. We need to eat the right diet. We need money to buy the food. We need the salary to be increased. We are still yet to see the minimum wage, being implemented in some states. I don't want to say maybe this is going to be prolonged till next year or something, but it seems like that because there are few states that have actually agreed to pay the minimum wage, and I think I've seen Lagos saying that they are going to pay workers, I think 85,000 if I'm not mistaken. So I've seen some states that have taken care of some needs. I've seen NGOs going to the hospitals to donate money for surgeries for some people, to reduce the cost of medication for some people, and what have you. So these are the kind of things that we are talking about. So when we see bodies taking responsibility that the government should be taking, I think it's something that we need to call the government's attention to know that, okay, Nigerians are actually suffering and they need the government to be there for them. So we have another caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Okay, so I think I wish we could just have this conversation on and on until we hear some people, and then WhatsApp messages also maybe probably to come in. I know that a lot of people are going through so much that they may not have the zeal to even want to partake in some activities at this point. But no matter what you're going through, just make sure that you take care of your health. Whatever you believe in, as far as it works for you and you're not going to blow it to become something else. Just make sure that you're doing the right thing, because we are here to just voice out what you feel, what we think the government needs to do. We are actually speaking for a lot of Nigerians. That's what the media does. Well, this is the much that we can take for the phone conversation this morning. Well, just stick around, don't go anywhere. When we return, we are going into the first discussion of the day, and like I said, we have a young musician which his song has gone viral on social media, and that's what we are going to look at. So stick around, don't go anywhere.